Hi, I'm Kara Pogreba. Welcome to Bright Hope Creations. I'm making a center picture window card today, and I'm going to use Gnome, some of these images, and then a sentiment from Rub-a-Dub-Dub. But I want to talk about the sentiment I'm using from Gnome. I found that, and many of you probably already know this, but Fawn makes their sentiments so that you can easily connect them up and they're perfectly spaced. So if you just put the rectangle shapes together, close the lid, and then it's a perfectly spaced sentiment. So I used this die from Speech Bubbles and stamped that out. I cut the hammock out of sunflower cardstock, and then the shadow box card park add-on pieces. The treetops were Let's Polka in the Meadow and Noble Fir for the grass. The Woodgrain cardstock for the tree trunks, and I touched those up with a little gathered Twigs distress ink. For the main card base, I'm using Moonstone cardstock, and I cut the oval window out of the middle of the centerpiece. For the hills, I used Cilantro cardstock, and I made a couple of extra pieces for the sides. And then I cut two suns out of this is from the center picture window card die set, and I cut those out of fake tan and sunflower, and then I cut some clouds out of some white cardstock as well. The center picture window card die set also comes with the little trees, and so I cut those out of the Woodgrain cardstock and then used some green paper from the Spring Fling 6x6 paper pad for the treetops. Then I have this grass hill from the mushroom border, and I cut that in Noble Fir, and then the stitched hillside pop-up in Cilantro. Now that I have all the introductions in order, let's start putting this card together. So this is the card base, and I'm reinforcing those fold lines. So just folding everything on the score lines, and then I'll take some 1/8 inch score tape and put those on all the different tabs, and then line up the center score lines. And I'm going to take the score tape off of that one side and press it down, and then I'm going to fold that open, and then I'm going to get the next hill and take the score tape off of that. Once I have that lined up, press that down, and then the third hill. And I'm just kind of lining that up to make sure it's right. But then once I have them all done, I want to fold them in half with the score tape showing, and then take the release paper off, and I want to make sure they're all straight, so when the other side picks it up, they are straight across. Fold it over, and there it is. So now I want to decorate the inside, and I'm going to use some of this grass and the hills and adhere that together for the sides. And the treetop that I use, it's not designed obviously for this because it's made for the shadow box, but I just trim that down a bit and it fits nicely on the side. Then I just adhere that down and the tree trunk, and I make both sides the same way. There they are. So to get into the inside, I just lay the card flat on whichever side I'm going to work on, and then I can glue the pieces down in there. And just going to put in a few clouds right now. See, I just kind of lay it flat, and I can get inside there. And one more little cloud. This is the tiny cloud. It's so cute. I'm going to put the sun together and the trees. And then I have some score lines on those hills because I use the ones that go in the center of the card. So I'm just kind of diminishing the score line by putting the tree trunk up against that and then trimming off anything extra. So on this cloud, I'm going to tuck this sun in behind the leaves of the tree. Just tuck that in there, and then I'll add some more trees and some clouds. And I just put glue on those. Now I'm going to put the trees on the inside hills, and that again, I just lay it flat on either side that I'm working on. Now, you could put these on before you put the whole thing together, but I wanted to see where everything was going to go first. And then to finish off the center part, I'm going to use this grass. Now I put a score line on it using the tool that comes with the center picture window card kit or die set, and I'll show you that later when I make the hammock. Then I put on the treetops there, and that's all set and ready. So now we need our characters to put inside there and on the front. And I won't focus too much on the coloring, just show you what colors I use. So the B20s for their dresses and outfits. This is B21, and then I shade it in B24, and then come in with my darkest one in B26 just to get the darkest shades. And then I blend everything back out with the B21. And then for the white areas, I use the C's, the cool grays. So a C1 here, and then I also use the C2 just to give it the shadows for the white areas. And then in the hair, I'm using E20s, so E21, E23, E25. And again, they're just small areas, so I'm not going to focus too much on them. These characters are going to have a lot going on around them, so the coloring itself is not the focus of this. But I give her a few wispy hairs there with the E23. And then I color all the hats first, just with a coat of R24 and the wheelbarrow as well. And then I come back in to shade in R27. And then my darkest color that I will shade in is the R29 right here. When I'm done with the coloring, I just cut everything out so that I can use it in the scenes. The two standing ones will be on the front, and then the two sitting ones are going to sit in the hammock inside. I should mention that I put the sitting gnome and masked off part of it and then put on the girl's body on top so that I could have a girl sitting as well, because the boy and girl will both be in the hammock together. And I chose to do this with two so that when my card folds, one can fold on each side. You'll see that at the end, but I could have used a full image inside the hammock, but decided to have the two together so that it would fold easily. So now I have them all cut out, and I'm just going to adhere the pieces to the front of the card. So the hill, and I'm going to trim that down, and then I'll put the grass over it. I have a score line there, so that'll hide the score line on the hillsides as well. And I'm going to trim that down. And then we'll put the pieces on. Here's the sentiment. Now these gnomes are working hard in the hot sun, so they need a break. They need to relax and enjoy in the hammock. That's kind of the idea of this card. So I'm going to place where I want these guys. And then with that wheelbarrow, I didn't want to cut out the inside of the bottom, so I'm just coloring that in with the same color as the grass. And I just kind of color matched it to a YG67 for the noble fir. So then I just glue these onto the front of the card. So the little guy, and then here's his wheelbarrow, and here's the little girl. Now I'm going to start with the hammock. Now this is that tool that comes in, and I made a score line in my die cut machine using it so that it was right in the middle. And I'm going to tuck these sitting gnomes inside the hammock and glue them onto the back. Now there is a back side to the hammock, but I chose not to use it. I wanted it to be kind of see-through. And then I'm going to tuck her in the same way. So there's a slit inside where she can fit in there, and then put a little glue on the back side there to keep her in. And there they are. So I want to fold a little bit on each side of the hammock strings, and then I'm going to put a little glue on the trees where it's going to hang in the trees. And it's a very small bit there that's hanging. You'd be surprised though, with this lawn fawn glue, it holds very well. I just was careful to keep it secure while it was drying so that it would stay in the right place, and extra glue just to make sure, but it's very sturdy. And so when it closes, they close with it. So there it is, the front and then the inside. And I wanted to put relax and enjoy on the inside, but there wasn't any room, so I just stamped that onto the back of the card. So there's the back. Here's the front, and there they are, relaxing in their hammock. And that's it. The card is all done. I hope you enjoyed this center picture window card. And if you did, if you would give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.